Hello and welcome to the channel, Picture Book Creators. When planning a picture book, it's really important to understand the types of illustration. And I don't mean art styles, I mean types of illustrations such as double page spreads, single page spreads, framing, spotlights, and vignettes. These are so important to understand for great storytelling, and even more importantly, it's so vital to understand how to use the types of illustrations to make your work better, to better tell a story through your visuals. So today, after this video, you're gonna walk away with a better knowledge of the types of illustrations and how to use them to bring the best flow and pacing and impact through your illustrations to the story. So today I'm going to use my own picture books and art on my iPad to demonstrate these types of illustrations, but I encourage you to grab other picture books that really appeal to you and begin to look them over and identify what types of illustrations some of your favorite illustrators are using and how they pace them out with variety through the picture book. And really what you'll get is a glimpse on identifying how different illustrators use formats to their advantage. So let's start off today by talking about double page spreads. A double page spread is exactly that. It is an illustration that covers 2 pages of the picture book, the left and the right. It typically leaves the edge of the pages with the bleed cut off, so the ink is from the edge of the page to the edge of the page, typically speaking. It creates a cinematic moment. It feels expansive and immersive, and the illustrator can really put a lot of detail into it, though it is somewhat used as a wide angle lens. If you can think of a photographer using a wide angle lens to capture a lot of the expanse, it is the same with having this panoramic view for your picture book, creating this type of scene that spans and showcases big moments or expansive scenes. So I have a couple examples here of 2 double page spreads that I used in A Busy Day in ABC Woods, my latest children's publication, sold on Amazon. In A Busy Day in ABC Woods, I opened with a double page spread and I ended with a double page spread. And all of the middle pages were intentionally single page spreads that showcase a letter of the alphabet and alliteration on that letter in the writing of the story, showcasing an animal that celebrates that letter. So I purposely did a lot of now what we're going to talk about as the single page illustration, otherwise called a single page spread. A single page spread focuses on the clarity and dedicates one page to a certain illustration. It can still have quite a lot of detail and create an immersive experience, but really it is taking one page rather than 2, and it's up to the illustrator on whether they leave a lot of white space around it or whether they take it from edge to edge with a bleed. And so, as I mentioned, in A Busy Day in ABC Woods, I have a lot of the whole interior really is single page spreads. As well, I wanted to show to you that in Wait Darling Wait, I also illustrated a lot of single page spreads, and this is a really good example here where it's a single page. It doesn't have a bleed, so there's white space around it. It's a single page spread of where the text says pig rolled by, but then we needed to move into the next scene where even though pig rolled by, now pig is sitting near chicken saying, "Why are you just sitting there?" And so I needed to move the story along a little quicker than taking up a double page spread for this. And so I used single page spreads to do so. And then as well, we have what is called a spotlight or panels. Now, I will share with you in a moment how a spotlight differentiates from a single page spread, but first let me define the spotlight panels a little more. These allow you to show a sequential action or a highlight an illustration from multiple perspectives. That's really the strength of a spotlight panel, where you can create small little spotlights. For example, if a character was going to put on their shoes, you could have the character putting on their shoes in sequence, especially if it was a really important part of the story that you wanted to draw attention to. Often spotlights are really to bring the reader's attention to a very specific action showing time passing. So in my own illustrating process, I can sometimes be indecisive on whether I want to illustrate a single page illustration or a spotlight. And the way that I have learned to differentiate between a single page illustration and a spotlight is that a single page illustration really captures one full scene or idea, and a spotlight focuses on the specific detail of that, a specific detail of that scene. And then going back and forth here, the single page illustration might include a full background and setting like the sky and the grasses, whereas a spotlight might have no background, very minimal context, drawing the attention solely to an action or the subject or an emotion. And so that's how I tend to differentiate. And I personally lean more into single page illustrations, but I always have to remind myself that the spotlight illustration is available and can be used to my advantage. And then there's also framing. So I did a lot of framing in Wait, Darling, Wait, where every once in a while when I wanted to emphasize the text and the positive words of what the story was saying, I did framing with the little bugs and insects. There's so many different kinds of framing ideas where you can pretty much illustrate around the whole edge of a page and just have the text in the middle. You can create, in a sense, little corner vignettes or corner framings that work for what you want the text, how you want the text to stand out. And so I did a lot of framing, and each of my pages has a different insect. I should say this, each of the animals that appears in the book has a little insect that comes with them. So for example, the lamb has the bees, and so the bees frame this page, and then the cat has the ladybugs, and so ladybugs are framing here. And so that is an example of how I used framing. Now, what is a vignette? A vignette is really, I think of it like a small embellishment to a page that might bring a little illustration onto the page, focusing on a key detail, but not needing a background. It's not fully a frame. I have one vignette example here where I used it in my front matter. I made a little mushroom cluster that is in the front matter, just essentially to decorate it. Here is a current book that I'm working on. And this would be a great example that come later in the book, if I wanted to tie together the illustration flow, I may end up choosing this butterfly to create a small vignette somewhere else in the book. And that could be a really great way to just sort of make the story flow. Vignettes kind of tie things together for me. And then just showing you here this example of this page. This page is considered a double page spread because you can see that the illustration moves from one page to the other, but I also used a single page spread concept and spotlighting to my advantage, even within the double page spread. So you can see here that this has a single page spread feel because there is the little donkey chasing the butterfly as if it's standalone. And then over on this side, it possibly has a spotlight feel where I'm really zoomed in a sense on that emotion and relationship between the mother donkey and the baby donkey. but it is a double page spread. The other thing that I want to draw your attention to is the movement. So no matter whether we are illustrating double page spreads, single page illustrations, framing, vignettes, we always want to think about getting the reader to turn the page and moving the eye through the book. And, you know, as illustrators of picture books, we're not creating standalone pieces, which really the composition and flow of a standalone piece is to keep the viewer on that particular piece of art for as long as possible, to not let them move to the next piece of art. But in a storybook where you're turning pages and moving through the story, our goal is to move them through the book, to make them want to turn the page and to soak it all in as a whole. And so for that reason, we are creating page turns. We're creating movement. So my characters often face the way that I'm getting the pages to turn. And I often have movement that directs the eye that direction. And we want to keep in mind, no matter what type of illustration we're rendering, that we're leaving a lot of white space and negative space to allow the eye to rest. So you can see here that without the text on this page, I've left a lot of white space to bring clarity and balance and to let the illustration breathe. And we're always, no matter what page spreads we're doing, no matter what type of illustration, we're looking for consistency and flow. That movement, white space, consistency, and flow. And we're looking to use double page spreads for that immersive panoramic view. We're looking to use single page spreads to dial in and really focus a certain scene on one page. And we're looking to use spotlights as a way to really zoom in, draw the focus to a key movement or object or character or emotion, and it could be nice and zoomed in. And then we're looking to use framing to create that sense of containment within the page and bringing a sense of flow. And then the vignettes are like little light, playful attention to specific details, embellishments. I hope that this has helped clarify for you the types of illustrations that you have at your fingertips to apply to your storybook and make your storybook the most impactful as possible. I also want to encourage you to disperse the illustration types through your book. I've spoken in another video of how I find a rhythm within that particular manuscript that I'm illustrating and the character and the settings. I find a rhythm to how I disperse those illustrations through the book. If you've liked this video, give it a thumbs up, hit the bell, subscribe, stay tuned for more videos like this, and check out the channel for more videos like this. Until next time, picture book creators, happy creating.